on a set, I personally have never come close to this, obviously, where you're doing a role and you think to yourself, I'm going to get a nod. What I'm doing is fucking special. This is some crazy shit that I'm putting out in between action and cut. Did you feel that on the set, or were you so immersed in Schneider that you didn't have time to have your own Eric Roberts thoughts?
It never occurred to me, pal.
Even when you were done?
No, I mean, we all won an Academy Award. Everything I've ever done, I mean, I've made what? I have no idea. I'm just saying this. I made what, like 150 movies, and every movie I've ever opened up, when I turn the title page, okay, I'll win an Oscar for this. Not, it's always on your mind somehow, even as a joke.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't wrap that movie and think, oh boy, I'm gonna get a nomination for this one. No, that's not what occurred to me.
Nick
at all.
and I have these discussions all the time, though. You're one of those guys that you totally. I know you. I don't know how you feel about your timeline of work, but there is no doubt you will. If you injected me with truth serum and my wife with truth serum, and I bet Eliza with truth serum, you could never get us to say that your best work isn't in front of you.
That's awfully nice to say to anybody, pal. Thanks.
But
it's true.
There is no way there's not an Oscar nod in your future. Like, you're one of those guys. I watched you in a Lifetime movie with Anne Heche where you played Joe.
We watched it twice.
You were amazing. I mean, you never see a Lifetime movie and go, holy shit. You turn up and like
freaking tremendous.
Lifetime has become like synonymous with like,
I
go pick up a check.
Said,
we'll go to
you're
Calgary.
Sitting down and watching this.
Yeah, but Lifetime it's become like this thing. Like, I'll go to Toronto, pick up a check. I'll pay my mortgage. I'll do it. But you were the guy. And Anne Heche, I find,
Anne Heche is great.
Is fantastic.
Yeah,
really
good.
great in that.
And she's another person who you go, where's Anne Heche? She's always good. Like in what's the one? Johnny Depp that everybody goes crazy in Pacino and Johnny Depp. Donnie Brasco. Everybody went so crazy about Johnny Depp. Being from New Jersey, I spent most of the discussions about Donnie Brasco going, no, you don't understand. Anne Heche was like my sister Julie. She was a Jersey broad on Valley View Road in Essex County.
She could not have been better in that movie.
There was no room for improvement. It's like a Richard Pryor or George Carlin set. It's 18 ounces of water in a 14-ounce glass, and nothing spills. And you watch the whole movie going, how is there no water on the ground?
Yeah, dig it. That's a nice thing to say.
But that's how you were in a Lifetime movie.
Oh, thanks, Pat.
And there's no way that your best work isn't in front of you. But which is amazing considering the work that's behind you.
Oh, you brought up Runaway Train, and that's also a thing I changed. And that character was supposed to be, I think, from Detroit. And I read the script, and I said, you know what? Because he's in for statutory rape, because of this, we have to make him very vulnerable. And I can do a very likable. I'll even change the register of my voice. I'll be up here when I talk and stuff, so it's sweet. So, he's in trouble, but he's not a bad guy. You know what I mean? He's not terrible or anything. And so I asked Andrei Konchalovsky if I could play a Southern. And Andrei, being Russian, I don't think heard the difference in the accents at all. But he's like,
that's a great point, though.
He's like, I don't care what you do. You're a brilliant actor. Just be brilliant. Okay, I'll just be brilliant. And
be brilliant in Southern.
So I made him Southern. So he was more vulnerable sounding, and it was just because of how he sounds. It was just because if you talk like this, you have kind of a high voice. You're not that threatening. But if you're from Detroit, hey man, I'm from Detroit. Don't mess with me.
Yeah.
You're a whole other thing. And people want to embrace you.
These are two big roles that you did a giant K-turn on, and you told the director, I'm going in another direction. Follow me.
Yeah.
Follow me. I know it's a tough guy, but I'm going to make him sensitive and likable.
And you did the Georgia Southern with the soft R's, not the Texas Southern with the hard R's, because that's not likable. The hard R is not so likable.
Yeah, no, I'm actually not a Smyrna boy. I was raised where Peachtree meets West Peachtree. My mom lived in Smyrna, Georgia, and I never lived with her when she lived there. My sister was raised in Smyrna, bless her heart, and but I got her out.
So what town in Atlanta and Georgia?
Smyrna.
Oh.
But I was raised in Atlanta, in Atlanta proper, where Peachtree hits West Peachtree, old Atlanta.
So when the prop guy comes up to you and opens up the suitcase of watches, I always say this. And I say to the prop guy as respectfully as possible, I go, you know what, bro? As long as it tells time, so I know when lunch is, and with all due respect, if they notice my watch, we got big problems.
Now, here's the thing. I call prop guys probably a week before I go to work with them. And I say, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this. And it'll be a lighter, it'll be a watch, it'll be whatever it is, you know. It'll be a belt buckle that's a knife, whatever it is. And I always call with a list because my guys have stuff that is only for those guys that I'm playing. So and having done my homework and knowing, you know, why he wears an earring or why he wears a nose ring or why he has bad teeth, whatever it is, I call my prop guy and I get him on my side early. Because prop guys can really bail you out of stuff. They can really help.
How so?
They can really.
They can write down lines on your props.
Well, just stuff like
the old sitcom trick. When the prop guy writes your dialogue on the cereal box for you.
Yeah, we've all done that.
I'm sure I did it more than you.
I don't know, pal. Anyway, prop guys, you know, you call, you say, I want the biggest, gaudiest, loudest watch possible, but I want it to look like a real thing, like a real name brand good watch.
Right.
And they come with 3 or 4 choices as opposed to 50. But you know, you like you get help from them.
And they always want you to try on sunglasses.
Oh yeah, I always, because I have a very small face. I wear children's hats, literally. And
that's not something I would ever describe you as. Eric Roberts was over to the house today. How was he?
Small face.
Nice,
it's the weirdest small thing. Face.
He kept sticking his head through the dog door for a teacup Yorkie.
No, but like
to pull him out of it.
Like when I wear aviators, I have to wear women's aviators because I have a small face. If I wear men's aviators, it looks like I have on my dad's glasses. Yeah, so.
Walter's Aviators. That's the new name of your production company.
Yeah, right.
Walter's Aviators.
Actually, my production company is called Triple E Productions, after Eric, Eliza, and Emma.
Your daughter, we didn't even get, well, I mean, I don't know how much you want to talk about your daughter, because I want to talk about you. But then maybe you just have to come back.
I like my kid. I'll talk about my kid.
I mean, it rains talent.
It goes back to how he feels about being a kid actor and others being kid actors, you know, how you feel about that, because there's a lot of actors that are very vehemently against it, and there are others that say, if that's my kid's passion, that's my kid's passion.
Yeah, a lot of parents are like, there's no way I'm letting my kid follow my footsteps in acting. Forget it. I'm one of them.
You just got to let the kid do what the kid does, and whatever the kid does, I'm behind her.
Before we talk about Emma, really quick, I've noticed, and I don't know if you've noticed, a theme in your life, and that's, and I don't want to get fucking lifting on you, but it is interesting to me because we've always emailed and texted quickly, but to sit and actually get inside your head a little bit and take what I can from you, the themes in your life, if you broke it up, even the poem you recited was darkness. And as a child, you jumped into the wrong spot fearlessly into the darkness. And on Runaway Train and in Pope of Greenwich Village and in Star 80, and from 4 years old, you've always tried to sort of make everybody a bit of a clown.
Yeah.
I'm being completely serious. I don't think you even caught on to that on your own.
I don't know if he's trying to make him that, or it just kind of naturally happens.
But the directors are telling him he's a fucking thug from Detroit, and he goes, oh, no. He's sensitive. He's sweet. He's got a higher register in his voice. He's like your whole... It seems like your whole not your whole, I'm generalizing obviously and I'm speaking in superlatives, but a lot of your catalog, you've gone out of your way to steer these guys into gentility and likability.
Well, it's a movie, and it's not a documentary, it's a movie. And people come to be entertained and be taken on a little road trip, a little emotional, mental road trip. And you want them to be comfortable, so they'll take the whole trip with you. And if you're gonna scare them or upset them or make them feel funny, they're gonna leave. So there is still the entertainment factor. I mean, there is still the fact that they're like paying to be there. So you're not going to drive them away. That's all part of it. And
you never thought about just playing a guy, just running them into the ground evil?
Oh, I've done that.
Where? Which one?
I've done it several times. As a matter of fact, I turned to one of my people, manager, agent type people the other day, and I said to them,
your hip hop crew.
This part I'm about to go play, I'm going to have my makeup artist because I drag her over my poor makeup artist galaxy. She goes to the end of the world with me. Anyway, I turn to one of my people and I say, I'm going to play this guy really ugly. I'm going to have Galaxy really ugly me out. And one of my people says to me, don't do that. And I said, why? He said, because somebody will see it and they'll say, look at Eric Roberts these days. Because that's how this industry works. Don't do that to yourself. And so I said to them, I'm an actor. They know it. So
I play make-believe for a living.
Look at Star 80. People thought you were that guy for almost a decade after you played that part. You had a hard time getting parts that were not gross people a long time after that. Don't make yourself ugly in this part you're going to play tomorrow because it was only one day's thing I was trying to help somebody with their distribution. Don't play it ugly. So I went to work and I put on my normal makeup and I played it not necessarily ugly. But that never occurred to me up to that person said that. I was going to go have fun and be ugly.
I don't agree with that person.
I don't agree with it either. But because that person is somebody I turn to and I say, I ask them advice. And I like their advice 88% of the time.
Right.
So, just because 12% I don't agree with, because it was not a part that mattered to me and that, I'm going to play this part. Oh my God, I can't wait. It was not one of those. I was doing a favor for a director and a producer for their distribution. And it was also a fun little day's work that I was going to enjoy doing. So, it's what my wife calls my giving back working. Okay. Here's a job you're giving back. And so, she sends me on these jobs to help productions.
We really seem to have wives that have turned the battleship around for both of us.
Oh, my wife is my hero, dude. She's my absolute hero. She's all the things I'm going to be when I grow up.
My wife said the last thing you should ask Eric, and this isn't the last thing, but she said, ask him, who do you want to be when you grow up?
Well, I'm going to be my wife.
You're the best, man.
For sure.
I had Bert Kreischer, a great comic, and he's going to do backflips realizing that he was mentioned on this podcast. Because you're the first guest we've ever had. I always had like comics and my buddies. I did one by myself, just told a whole story about how I auditioned for something. But Bert Kreischer was explaining a story where I had a tantrum at like a Tempe, Arizona radio station, and he said, I don't think people understand the Tupac that used to live inside you. And it was your wife that gunned him down in the streets of Las Vegas. And so that's what Eliza was for you, it seems.
I don't know. It was love at first sight with this woman in 1989 when I met her on an airplane. And then I started kissing her every day in 91. And then I married her in 92. And
you guys moved quick like we did.
And we have not been away from each other except really this past year ever in 19 years, every single day. Up until this past year. And I've been on the road a lot, and I've allowed her to stay at home where she's happier.
But it was like us, to paraphrase Nabokov, at first sight, at last sight, and at ever and ever sight.
Yeah. When I met Nick, people always ask me, was it love at first sight? And I go, no, it was bigger than just love at first sight. It was everything at first sight. It was a doors of perception. It was walking through a threshold that I didn't know existed.
That's so romantic. With me and my wife, it was just pure, unadulterated lust at first sight.
Tell me about it. He held out on me.
And then it turned into love. It turned into hardcore love.
When you were nominated for Runaway Train, it is one of those things. I was at
that was a Golden Globus movie. Now, when you make a Golden Globus movie, you don't expect that it's going to even be seen, let alone nominated for anything. It was just a really cool script, and a really cool writer wrote it named Eddie Bunker. And I love the story. And but I did not expect it was going to go anywhere or be anything. And it got 3 Academy Award nominations.
Yeah, you, John Voight, and
me and the DP.
It wasn't nominated for Best Picture? When you're nominated, is it true? I always go, I don't really believe that's true when people go, it's just good to be nominated.
Okay, here's the deal about nominations. You get nominated,